Alrighty. After a little technical difficulties, we are finally here. Welcome, everybody. My name's Michaela Rako. If you haven't had a chance to get to know me, last week, we are still working on producing last week's episode, actually 2 weeks ago. So last week, I was out of the office, and when we tried to live stream from the remote location, it just didn't have enough bandwidth, and it would not let me go through. So we did have to cancel last week. I did try to get on for you guys. I checked to see if there was any emails or anything to respond back to the few people that did come in, but I did keep some of them too for this week, so that we had a couple emailed in questions. I did get a couple over the last couple of days. So I'm definitely happy to see that starting to build and grow. So we have some emailed in questions, but we also hope to, start to build this so that we actually get more people that are going to join us live so that we can talk about some of their issues and problems. So I always like to start these off with just like some notes, some things that are coming out right now. We just put out an article, and this isn't going to be the main topic of today that we're going to talk, but it's going to be a side note that's super important for small businesses. And it is, especially in Florida, and I assume that there are mirroring things in other states, but we do have an annual report. So, with our annual report in Florida, really simple. You just have to go to Sunbiz, kind of let them know what you guys are still in business, who your operating partners are, just kind of like your very basic information. Make sure everything's still all up to date, and it does come with a small fee. So whatever, and it depends on your industry. So it does cost something. But here is the biggest tip, or the information that NPR Designs is trying to show people, is that these annual reports are something that you guys can file. But during this time, there is a ton of companies that are set up to help assist you in filing your annual report. Um, Assist is a very, very vague word, and the reality is that you just don't need them. For small businesses where like every penny counts, we definitely want to make sure that we're empowering people. And so on our website here over the last couple of days, we just put up a couple of what these emails look like. Them telling you your deadlines due. They like to use a lot of your call to action phrases, do now, final notice. So just make sure you're watching out for those when it comes to your annual reports. Um, like I said, you guys can file them. There is an article on the website, kind of at least just giving you the outline of where to go, just so that you can get a grip on being able to navigate whatever's being sent to you, because they come in all shapes, forms, and sizes, and they're they're not needed. They're just not needed. So keep those dollars in your pocket, and just file your annual report. Um, don't we love the beginning of the year? All right. So today, what we're going to be talking about is marketing systems that outperform marketing tactics. And so, what this is that a lot of the times you're going to see small businesses. Um, because small business owners are super, super intelligent, and they're super, super creative in their own field. And they come up with these great ideas, and they're truly great ideas. Whether it be a small business card to hand out, or an event to have, or an email to send out. So great, right? So we have this core great idea, and then what happens is they invest all of their time and energy in this one idea. They produce the idea, and then they don't see the return that they're expecting on it, and then they're discouraged and they don't want to do it again. And that's my whole feedback style. The whole feedback cycle I am actually trying to stop is the um like that negative feedback cycle when you guys do something and then you're not able to either one understand the information that comes out of it so that you can give yourself credit. And like sometimes it's like, 40% open rates on emails is good. If you're in the 60%, even better. But still, those are still within industry standards. And so sometimes I have clients come to me, they're like, 90% of the people didn't open it. I'm like, great, 90% or 10% or 30% of the people didn't check their email that day. You know, another 30% are probably junk emails that people don't even use. So it's like once you start breaking down some of those things, you can start to actually see the core of how that thing did. So in that one marketing tactic truly has to be built into that marketing system. One marketing tactic, no matter how great it is, will never bring in as much as a marketing system will. And what I'm going to tell you is a marketing tactic might bring in a lot more people one time. But what we're looking for in small business is consistency. As much as we love selling out for a brand new product on the first, we don't want to be holding inventory the 13th through the 30th before we can do that again. We want to keep those. We want it all to come in slow, low. Well, we want it to come in fast and heavy, but we still want to keep that. Our core basics is consistency. And genuinely, when you start to stop thinking about it as a marketing tactic and start thinking about it as a marketing system, is when you're going to be able to transform the just how it's going to go. Um, because you have other things set up. So my best the best way that I can explain this is by putting it in a put it in terms. So let's say we have a delivery restaurant. The delivery restaurant is, let's just use Super Bowl because Super Bowl was recent. But we're going to backtrack in a month before that. Because genuinely, when you are doing good marketing, you need to start about a month before, in theory, the day. We're going to call it Super Bowl. We're going to give it a day. We're going to, as much as we're going to talk about consistency and how this is going to produce consistency, you're going to see how it's going to be essentially for a day. So, Super Bowl's coming, right? I have a restaurant. They do delivery. They want to do a cheaper wing and rib. Oh, try that again. Wing and rib package. So we start with one of the things that I enacted a good amount of time is putting business cards and flyers in a bag. When you are a delivery restaurant, every time you have a bag, you have a chance to connect with your customer. And so just by dropping a small flyer or a small piece of marketing on top is your first point of contact. So, right. So we're gonna our marketing tactic is genuinely we're gonna sell as much wings as we can. Um, we're gonna use it in a bunch of different ways in the system. But let's just say like the tactic is centered around these flyers. Okay, so we put the flyers in. So Johnny orders a sub, right? So he gets a sub. When he gets a sub, he gets a little piece of paper talking about how wings are going to be 50% off on Super Bowl. He's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. Wow, wings on Super Bowl. Great. So then Johnny orders again. He then gets another thing. Now this time it says we're doing 50% off wings, and hmm, we're doing a poll for after the halftime show on what they thought. You come in on the poll, especially with the halftime show just being controversial. You can kind of use it to stimulate the senses, is what I would call it. So let's say now you're having a poll. Okay, so now we have customer engagement about something, or um, have two wing sauces. Was it hot like this, or was it barbecue like this? I'm not really saying anything. I'm genuinely just putting things out, and this is live, and here we are. And so now you have customer engagement. Okay, so now we've hit Johnny twice. One of the things that I really need business owners to understand, and I think that they do miss sometimes, is that it takes a customer 3 to 5 times to touch your brand, to interact with your brand, and to be able to make another purchase or genuinely make the first purchase. After that, it does go down. You don't have to do quite as much, but still, if you've hit them 3 times, or you have set something up to hit them 3 times before a purchase date like this, that 3 to 5 times is where I would always keep my numbers. So right now, time 2, we have our wing thing, but now it's paired with some sort of engagement game. Um, I honestly would even just put like a wheel on their app and stuff, get them back on the app. To like, or it would be cool if you could do a wheel that would do a promotion for that day. That would be sick. That could be built. That would be tough, but that could be built. Anyways, I got off track. So we've hit them twice. Now we are 2 hours before kickoff. 2 hours before kickoff, we send them an email. Hey, Johnny, listen, I saw that you had ordered from us, subbed from us on this date, which that can all be done through your automation, through your email systems. We want to get you back. Today's Super Bowl, we got 50% off wings, all of that. Okay, so you have that going. He's seen you in your email. And then last but not least, I would get a small commercial. You can either do through YouTube. There's a ton of commercial services. You'd be surprised, or like a meta ad. That's when I'd actually go to the social media platforms, because I know that they would be flooded with, absolutely flooded with people, especially during the halftime show. So I would target that, and I would invest a bunch of money in my local area or my delivery radius or whoever's going to be affected. But what is most important is that you've built from just, oh, I'm going to throw a flyer in a bag, because that's expensive. That adds up so quick. So the thing is that when you're putting those flyers in the bags, one, what are we looking for? Flyers in the bags, if it doesn't have a call to action on it, there is really no way to follow up on it. You could look at it at overall sales, but again, you're going to have a lot of things going on. But let's say that you pair it with some sort of customer interaction, bring it back, do a poll. Genuinely, you can pick whatever you'd like to do, whatever is fitting for your company, and then look at those numbers. So let's say we had a poll that was done. Let's say you gave out 100 of them, and still like 30 people responded. You understand at 30% engagement, it gives you an idea that like at least half of those people are going to order from you. So those are sales that you are still building. Give me 1 second. I hear something. I need to go just double check. All right, we are all good. Sorry about that. Thought I heard something stuck, but we're good. So, getting back to again, if you have a poll and then you have your customers that interact with that poll, what is going to end up happening is you understand what your engaged basis, and even knowing who those people are. If you do something cheap as like a poll, you know that those are the people that you can market heavy to pull sales out of, because they're engaged with the content. Um, it's kind of the same with you know, like your top fans badges and stuff for your business pages. Like people that are your top fans, they're interacting with your content, they're looking at it, they're sharing it to their friends, and those are the people that you genuinely are going to want to target. Um, if we ever get back to your core marketing foundation, which is just word of mouth, um, with those clientele, you understand that they are the best people for word of mouth. So if you keep a good feedback cycle, I always try to, there's a negative feedback cycle and a positive feedback cycle. So when you keep people in the positive feedback cycle, when they're getting discounts, but you guys also have to understand, like, when you guys offer discounts should be something that benefits both people. I think for the longest time, a discount needed to come at the loss of a business owner, and that's just not true. Um, the reality is that most businesses have variable pricing, especially in restaurant industry, where prices are going to fluctuate and change for the materials and the core products it takes to make the things. So, like, if you pair your discounts with fluctuating items like chicken wings is a great example. It flies up, it goes down. A case of chicken wings. Um, I've literally watched people fight over them in COVID. So it's definitely it's a fluctuating item and it can get very expensive. And when it's very expensive, you can't offer discounts. But when it gets a little bit cheaper and your margins are there, offer those discounts. Get those good feedback cycles. It's sitting in your cooler and or on the shelf. It is not sold. It's not in someone else's hands being enjoyed. So always keep an eye out for like when you guys can, you know, give discounts for the good feedback cycle. And then what you do is you integrate those in again, your marketing systems, not your tactics. We're not trying to get them once. We're trying to get them always. We're trying to get them to love us. We want to get them to the point where they can't stop talking about your product. And it's so cool because when you do get there, or um and I guess I'm saying this because I'm like living it through watching a lot of my really fantastic and passionate clients. Oh, some of my clients are so freaking passionate. um, watching them be that passionate and have so much confidence in their product. It shows. It shows. They are leaders in their industry. They are constantly pushing the envelope with whether marketing, innovation. And so those are the people that when you believe in your product, and again, you're doing the good feedback cycle, all you end up doing is producing more and more and more good. You end up doing more sales, you end up, pushing more products, you get more customers, and big kids, big problems. I was gonna say you deal with more problems, but that's a good thing. That means sales are rolling and everybody's engaging. So, um, so the best way, because I kind of have, you know, I want to just kind of wrap it up. So your marketing tactics, and we're going to get into a few of the questions today. I do have to get off just a little bit early this morning. The NPR weekly live sessions are now set in stone for 2026, but it was kind of a newer idea that kind of just came from a place of need. At the end of the year, I found a lot of my I had transformed my business to offer more monthly marketing packages for people. And they're great, but there's definitely a need for someone who has a little bit of marketing money but can't quite make that $300 a month minimum. So for that in between, that's what this is for. This is for those people that have $150 to spend. I want to show you where to spend it so that you get good feedback so that we can build that budget from 150 to 200, and then I'll see you at 300. And then you can come and stop doing it, and I'll take all the work off of you and make your life a lot easier. So that's definitely, we're trying to build people. I'm trying to give people good feedback cycles. I watch so many small business owners, you know, just run out of money before they really get anywhere when they're still in the learning phase. So I'm trying to take a little bit of that out for you. So transforming from marketing tactics to marketing systems. When we're thinking about marketing systems, what and how we build our marketing systems, these are some of the questions you guys need to be asking yourselves. What are your business goals? So overall, what is our goal for the business? Okay. And then you also want to break it down of like, what's the goal of this? If you're, it's the business goal. If you're doing like a 6-month marketing strategy, let's say that you're actually working on an event or something, that it's going to be for a thing. We want to talk about the goals of that event or this one marketing thing that we're trying to achieve, because it can be both ways. And then the next thing you need to do is who's your audience and what's your audience intent. So why are your audience coming to you and who are they? So how do we appeal to them? You know what I mean? You need to have a good idea of who your customer is before you market to them. Website clarity. I always kind of go back to website clarity. Most people nowadays are just built to go back to your website. So you always want to make sure that that is where you have the best information available. It's your organic platform. Keep it up to date. Have pride in it. Websites are expensive, but when you do them right, they really do change actual functions of the business, and it makes it more efficient. So always make sure your website's at least clear on the front end from a customer's standpoint so that they can understand what's going on and they can get to the buttons they need to press to buy. Traffic sources. So where is your traffic coming from? Are we online? Are we in person? Are we through mailers? Is it a locality thing? Are people coming to an event? So we definitely want to, think about all your traffic sources and all of the ways that you can maximize on them, and understand a marketing system or a marketing tactic will have more than one traffic source. Make sure you just know all of them. And then conversion pass. So conversion pass are another huge thing. Is a lot of times people are like, oh my God, I have this great marketing idea. They're gonna buy this. Well, where are they gonna buy it? How are they gonna buy it? How are you going to like if I'm doing a wing and rib special, I don't want them to have to go the whole way through my menu to go the whole way to the bottom to be able to order it. No, I'm gonna want quick buttons that are gonna push them through to get that 50% off, whatever it is, wing and rib into their cart and sent. We're gonna try to express checkout. We're gonna put that thing right in front of them, pop-ups, pow, and then I just pop myself in the face, pow. So you're gonna do pop-ups. What's a conversion path? How are you gonna get from that piece of paper or that marketing thing to dollars in your pocket? Because if you didn't think about that, you only did half of it. Because you can put the information out there, but how are they gonna now get it? I know. And those are tough days. But it's definitely it will transform how you look at it once you have gotten a chance to have one work for you, because that's genuinely what the most important thing is. You got to have something work for you. Once you get that good feedback cycle and you see how the numbers work and you see how then you retarget the couple few that you missed, you're going to be so much better. So now we're going to transport into email questions. I got a few that I've created too to kind of help. We got about 30 minutes left, so we'll get through as many as we can. And this is the time where if anybody would jump on YouTube and you guys can put in the chat any questions, YouTube or the stream, you will be able to, I'll stop and take those questions live. But so I got Hannah Price from Price Therapy. How do you build trust when you're newer and you don't have much history yet? So one, okay, I'm gonna go two ways. We're gonna say that you have, let's say, 3 clients, okay? You have 3 case studies, okay? And Hannah, I'm gonna say that you're physical therapy. I did not look. So with your physical therapy, like if those 3 clients and or you can set up 3 clients that what I would do is get some pictures. You can definitely put pictures so that their face and everything is going to be covered. But have your face, nice and presented well. So I would just get 3 of those. I would base a blog article or something for case studies on your website where you just talk about how you practice. Like, are you a gentle touch? Are you this? Like something that's gonna make the reader when they're reading it or actually like, oh wow, this person's gonna take care of me in this fashion and in this way. So that's what I would do, and I would extend on those. So like 2 or 3 of those could be really good. If you are not artificially putting it up, but if you are working with friends, try to get people from different dynamics. Like if you have an older lady's case study is going to be different than a bricklayer man's case study, if that makes sense. So I would try to diversify across that. And then let's say you have nobody. Let's say you just started. Okay. What do you know? Like, what education or what information can you bring to the table that shows that you know what you're doing? You know what I mean? If you don't want to do it in the way that it would take clients, you're still doing something. You're still a physical therapist, let's say. So, what are some calisthenic stretches that would help with this type of pain? Start building your education base. Start building your information base. One that's going to help you with SEO. So that when people are looking for you in your area, you're going to have some of the best and forefront information that people can go to, and then hopefully follow through with your services, even if they are just looking for information to start. So that's how you build trust when you're newer, you don't have a lot of history. Either kind of artificially make it. And I will tell you right now, it's not artificially making it. We all have to start from somewhere. When I started MPR Designs, I had to do websites for free. I had to do websites for free. I had to learn. I had to um, see how things were going to be set up. As much as I had my education, there were still things I had to learn on the flip side when it was just under me. So, as much as I might use the word artificial, understand it's not artificial, it's good work. But they 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 might be friends, and that's okay. A lot of the times to start a lot of our businesses, family and friends and small businesses. And that's something to be proud of, that you have a small community. It's not something to be ashamed of. Okay. Is imperfect real content better than polished brand content? Lotus Nails. Mystical. Um, hmm, I think that's kind of like based on you. I think that whatever one you would decide, whether it be like very realistic, very authentic, or very clean and very branded, um, they're both really strong avenues. But what you have to understand is that you can't flip the avenue halfway. Then you're gonna lose authority. Then you're gonna lose credibility. So you can be perfectly imperfect, but then you need to be Hot Mess Express all the time. And in a good way. It gives that authentic, that grit of that content. But if I am Miss Grit and I'm gonna talk like I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna do like I'm gonna do, but then one day I'm gonna show up in three-piece suit and start quoting you Shakespeare, your customer is looking for the grit. They're not looking for the clean. If they were looking for the clean, they would have went with a clean creator to start. So I would say stay true to your brand. I would say you know the best decision on your comfortability on if you want more of like that real grit content or if you're more interested in something more polished. Whatever you choose, you just stick to it. That would be my recommendation. Other than that, they're both. You got options in both. So I wish you good luck, Nicole from Lotus Nails, and email me again if you have any more questions. Hopefully I answered it. I know that probably you probably wanted one or the other, but I actually am going to tell you both. Can too much proof overwhelm customers? From Simmons Boutique, Miss Simmons. Um, yes and no. I think that too much proof when all presented like bleh, yes, that absolutely is overwhelming. I don't know about you, but like when I sat down for my math class and they put that textbook in front of me, I just wanted to throw up. But um let's say my math teacher didn't put a textbook in front of me but only put one worksheet in front of me. Well, that's way more digestible. So the thing is that too much proof can be overwhelming to a customer. But I am going to tell you there is no such thing as too much proof. And the reason why I'm going to tell you there's no such thing as too much proof is because you're trying to build domain authority through websites. And the only way to do that is through years and years and thousands and thousands and thousands of case studies, blog posts, however you want to put it, right? Proof, right? Whatever your proof is. So, um, you still need all of that. But the thing is that if I would go to a page and it would just be scrolling and scrolling of one article going into the next article, going into the next article, going into the next article, I'd be absolutely overwhelmed and I wouldn't expect to see good results from that. Now, if I have something that, or we build the website, let's say that only shows the last 5, even though they're all on there, you can always hit, see more and it'll scroll the more because that's how it stays on the website. But it does only show you that 5. Well, then, even though all of that proof is on there and doing all of the genuinely the hard back door work, those you just only show your first 5. So my answer is yes. Proof can be overwhelming for customers. That does not mean do not provide your proof. Continue to build all of your information and case studies and get them on the website, but present them in a way that is digestible for the customer. So remember, when you sit down at the beginning of a school year and or semester and you get that textbook, it's super overwhelming looking at that textbook, feeling it, it's big, it's a lot to take in. But if we break down that textbook to a worksheet that introduces the first chapter, it becomes much more digestible. So just make sure you take that into how you're providing your proofs to your customer. And I believe if you do that, one, you're gonna hit both points of one, you're gonna have all of the proof you need, and 2, it's not gonna overwhelm your customer. So that's awesome. That was a really good question. All right, let's see. So this one says we have loyal customers in person. So I had to read it twice because I was like, you don't seem trustworthy. Okay, anyways, sorry. So Danielle Moore, Harbor View Cafe. So we got a restaurant. We have loyal customers in person, but online we don't seem trustworthy. How do you bridge that gap? I'd say better website. But that's just me. I don't know exactly what you got going on. That's why I do want people to come on here because when you guys come on here, I will be able to actually bring up your website and do a lot of this live. For the emailed questions, I don't go to anybody's stuff just in case if they don't want it out there. So you got loyal customers in person. So it tells me you're running a good joint. All right, so we have a good place, but online we don't seem trustworthy. Now my question is, but online we don't seem trustworthy. Is your customers telling you that online is just not putting the cherry on top on their experience, and or but online we don't seem trustworthy, we're trying to get new customers and it doesn't seem to be working? So let's say honestly in either one, I'm going to tell you need a new website, and here's the reason why I'm going to tell you is it's just websites are so important. If you don't seem trustworthy online, you're not going to get people. People make their decision with under 5 seconds. So you have to hit them within those 5 seconds. The other thing that I really, really would implore you to do is go check your Google business listing. That's a huge thing that can immediately build domain authority. and trust. So if you do that first, even if your website's lacking, the way that they do the Google Business Profile one is standard, so everybody's kind of like expecting to look at the same thing. But it'll get you paired with, some of the most important things: link to your website, address, phone number, and it'll be able to pop up a couple pictures. So if you're not in the place where you can get a full website done, but you're kind of looking for the in between part, I would definitely try to work on your Google business profile and getting that up and running. Um, and if you have loyal customers in person, focus on that. I understand you want to bridge the gap, but you got to keep doing what's working for you too. There's nothing wrong with doing what you do best. And sometimes when people try to spread themselves too thin is genuinely where they lose. Um, so I would like to see people understand less is more and just start being happy with that, because it really does make a big difference. Oh, I like this one because it goes in with the last one. How do you prioritize fixes without rebuilding everything? Hmm. So let's say that your website does have um, enough, but it's time. Okay, so your website has enough, but we're just like not getting the conversions we want, right? That's what I'm putting out here. Okay. So we're prioritizing fixes without rebuilding everything because we're trying to achieve something. So again, what are we trying to achieve? Are we trying to achieve longer visitor times? We want them to be on the page longer. Do we want them to click faster? Do we want them to click through more pages? What are we trying to do? So let's say that we're trying to get people to stay longer. So if you were trying to stay longer, um, if you're trying to get people to stay longer, what I would do is I would prioritize your information section, and in your information section, um, go through and put in you are a financial. Put in financial reports. You know what I mean? So when you're putting in those financial reports and then you start getting people to stay longer, then you move to the next thing that you want to rebuild. So what I would do is kind of lay out your goals again on what you're trying to achieve and then make your changes phased with what your goals are and give them a little time in between. If you switch too many things at once, depending on if you're established business, you definitely don't want people to have to relearn everything. But if you are a new business, you definitely have a little bit more room to like push more than not to start because people aren't used to using your website yet. So that's what I would tell you. How do you prioritize your fixes without rebuilding everything? Make them goal oriented and do them in phases. Um, you'll have the best. How do you measure ROI on accessibility improvements? You're not. Hi. Sorry. So, accessibility is something that, yes, we do need to do. One of the things, at least in website accessibility, that we're going to be focusing on is color contrast. There is the I don't know what I'm doing. I'm being genuine about it, where colors are just like too close together, where you just kind of can't see it. And then there's also people that'll like put red text on a red background so that you can't see the text, but the text is there. So, anyways, we want to get away from all that. We want to make sure everything's seen. We want to make sure everything's built for screen readers. Make sure the screen reader can go down and be able to tell them what the buttons are, what the pictures are. But this isn't something that you're gonna necessarily be able to monetize from. And I wouldn't look at it as a monetization thing. I would look at it as a due diligence. Like, yeah, it's your due diligence. You need to do your due diligence, and you need to be an well, at least for me, and for you, because you're a small business owner, you got to be expert in your field. You know your website is compliant. And the way that, if you want to talk just about monetization, it's more of just like risk assessment. Like, now you're not at risk to have a lawsuit over your website, which is something I will be working on with ADA reform. It is a side passion project that I have been talking about. And so randomly, I do now that the lawsuits are becoming serial, and the lawsuits are exploratory, if you ask me. So um you got to protect yourself. You got to be website accessible. It is time. What they ask of you, in my opinion, being an expert in the field, is the minimums. Um, the I got to see how it's going to work with Spanish, because I know that some people are pushing that when things aren't in Spanish, that so you have a lot of things coming up. And obviously, if for some reason you're bilingual and you're able to offer your website in Spanish, that's amazing. We definitely want to do that. But other than that one, we're just trying to make sure screen readers can read it, everything's able to be used by someone who needs help, and make sure the colors and everything's, being able to be seen. So like I said, the accessibility on websites is it's standard. Look at it as due diligence. It's a minimum. It's cost of doing business. Don't look at it as something to monetize off of it. It genuinely affects such a small amount of the population. That's why I say you can't monetize it, because you might have one in 300 come to your website that's going to have to use it with the screen readers and everything. We want to be able to help that person, but you're not going to monetize in theory off of that person because it's accessible. Because what it's going to take to make it accessible is going to outweigh the cost of what it's going to bring in. But it's due diligence. It's something you got to do. We all got to do it. All right, this is gonna be my last one for the day. This is a really good question too. I like this. Oh, from a creative studio. I like this. I like this. Miss Lauren Diaz. How do you evaluate ROI when tools save time but not revenue? So, I mean, I would just look at how much it costs to do it. Like, of course, I'm going to use ChatGPT, right? ChatGPT is $20 a month. I know I'm not surprising anybody. So ChatGPT is $20 a month, but again, how much? Even though I've made that small investment, how much have I gotten back? If I can pop out 4 blog posts in 25 minutes, I don't even think that I could come up with 4 ideas in 25 minutes. And I'm not. I still prompt them with all of the ideas, all of the content, where and what I need it to do. But I'm not a content writer, so I mean, for me, I would be looking at that, and I'm save time but not revenue. It's all revenue at the end of the day. If I'm sitting my butt in a chair enjoying a book with my children versus grinding out, coming out with my own ideas, I mean, it's worth its weight in gold. But I mean, if you wanted to put that back to numbers, let's say $20 a month is what I'm spending, but those 4 blog posts, I bring in $120 a month. Well, I just made 6 times my money. So I don't know And I mean, I can even look at it as time. It would probably take me 25 minutes to write each blog post. So what I would end up doing is saying that I get back three times the amount of time back, or 3/4 of the amount of time back to me to be able to do other things, whether it be make more money and or just take it personal. So that's where I would leave that. Our second show, we're getting somewhere. Hopefully I'm going to have the intro done and actually these produced and on the YouTube channel here by the end of the week. Things have been super busy. NPR Designs is super busy, which I am super duper grateful for. But it's caused just getting back to some of these things takes me a little bit of time. So I appreciate everybody. Um, here coming into the next couple months, I'm going to start scheduling people to be on here too, so that we can start getting more of the back and forth feeling going. I just personally am still working through all of the bugs, like even getting the live stream today up took me 6.5 minutes. And I might just start coming on here a little bit early, but I might also find something because I think I can put it that I can start the live stream, but then have like a holder until I start. So, like I said, I hope, and the reason why I take a moment with this is everybody starts from somewhere. Like I've been a marketing professional for years. I've used YouTube for years, but I have never done a live show. Never done, in theory, what this would be maybe considered as is podcasting. So I'm still learning. I still don't know what I'm doing. But I'm trying. And that's the most important part. And that's what I would implore any small business owner that might be watching this now. Like, just try. It's been going bumpy since I've started. And it's okay. And it's okay. I feel the energy building. I feel it. And that's what's most important. But I thank you guys so much for tuning in today. If you did tune in, and I will be sure, um, I'll be sure to follow up with everybody that email. We'll get some more people on, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in if you're here. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. They'll be answered here. My email is Makayla, Makayla, at mprdesigns.com. So you can email me there, as well as reach out to my website for a contact form if you guys need some help. So look forward to seeing you guys next week, and we will have more to come. Have a great rest of your day, you guys. Bye-bye.